In the late 1950s, a tiny French car promised to change the world. The Renault Dauphine was elegant, affordable, and full of big promises. But behind the charm lay quirks, failures, and shocking surprises. Today, we uncover the secrets of the Renault Dauphine. When the Renault Dauphine first arrived in the United States in the late 1950s, it carried the charm of a stylish European import. Dealers promoted it as economical, elegant, and perfectly suited for American families looking for something smaller than Detroit's giant sedans. At first, curiosity drove sales. The Dauphine even became one of the most imported foreign cars of its era. But the dream soon collapsed. American owners discovered that the Dauphine was painfully underpowered for long U.S. highways. Acceleration was sluggish, taking more than half a minute to reach 60 miles per hour. Worse still, the car quickly gained a reputation for poor durability. Thin body panels rusted in record time, especially in states with wet or snowy climates. Mechanics also found it difficult to service, with the rear-mounted engine overheating in hot weather. By the early 1960s, American magazines like Consumer Reports openly called the Dauphine unsafe and unreliable. What began as a promising European challenger soon turned into a cautionary tale. In the U.S., the Dauphine's name became synonymous with disappointment. Not every Renault Dauphine was a slow, struggling economy car. Hidden within its lineup was a shocking twist: the Gordini version. Named after Amédée Gordini, the legendary French engineer nicknamed the Sorcerer of motorsport, this special Dauphine was built to inject real performance into an otherwise modest family sedan. Under the hood, the standard 845cc engine received Gordini's magic touch: improved carburation, higher compression, and better tuning. The result wasn't supercar territory, but it transformed the Dauphine's character. While the regular model crawled to 60 in over 30 seconds, the Gordini could do it in nearly half the time, reaching top speeds close to 90 miles per hour. For a tiny car of the late 1950s, that was a genuine thrill. The Gordini Dauphine also stood out with sporty trim, unique badges, and a reputation on rally stages where it proved more agile than anyone expected. It was proof that even a car mocked for being slow could surprise the world with racing spirit, all thanks to a little French sorcery. Long before Tesla or Nissan Leaf, the humble Renault Dauphine became part of one of the world's first serious electric car experiments. In the late 1950s, an American company called the Henny Motor Company, working with Eureka Williams and the National Union Electric Corporation, took the small French sedan and converted it into a battery-powered vehicle known as the Henny Kilowatt. This electric Dauphine used lead-acid batteries and could travel about 40 miles on a charge, with a top speed of nearly 60 miles per hour. By today's standards, that sounds modest, but in the 1950s, it was revolutionary. It was marketed to utility companies and government fleets as a quiet, clean alternative to gasoline. Only a handful were built, around 100 cars, making it one of the rarest electric vehicles in history. The Renault Dauphine surprised many owners not with its styling or size, but with its unusual 6-volt electrical system. At a time when most cars were moving toward 12 volts, Renault kept costs down by sticking with a smaller battery and weaker starter. The result was a system that worked on paper, but often caused headaches in daily use. Cold mornings exposed its limits quickly. The starter motor turned slowly. Headlights glowed like candles, and wipers crawled across the glass when voltage dipped. Even the simple radio often lost clarity, unless the engine was revving. A battery that was only slightly weak could leave the car completely unwilling to start. The 6-volt setup also limited the use of accessories. Power-hungry add-ons like fog lamps or heaters drained the system easily, which made long drives risky in poor weather. This limitation highlighted the Dauphine's design focus: economy first, convenience second. While most Renault Dauphine were built as simple economy cars, a handful carried rare factory options that now make them highly collectible. One of the most intriguing was the Fairlek automatic clutch. This system used an electrical mechanism to disengage the clutch automatically, allowing drivers to shift gears without pressing a pedal. In the late 1950s, this was futuristic technology, designed to make the car easier for city driving. Few were ordered, so surviving examples are prized curiosities. Export models often featured hidden technical tweaks that were never officially advertised. Cars bound for hotter climates received larger cooling ducts and modified carburetor jets to cope with long-distance highway use and extreme weather. These subtle changes improved durability, but were only known to dealers and mechanics at the time. Other rare touches included factory sunroofs, special heating kits for cold regions, and unique trim options that set certain cars apart. Small details like these, overlooked in their day, now add significant value for collectors searching for authenticity. Together, these unusual features highlight how even a modest French sedan could quietly showcase surprising innovation. Owners across the globe quickly discovered that this little French sedan seemed to corrode faster than almost any other car of its era. In damp or snowy climates, the body panels could begin bubbling with rust within just a couple of years. In some cases, mechanics reported that structural parts, like floor pans and suspension mounts, were already weakened before the car had even passed its first inspection. Why did this happen? Renault used very thin sheet metal to keep costs and weight down, but the steel was poorly treated and offered minimal protection against corrosion. On top of that, the car's design trapped water and dirt in hidden pockets around the wheel arches, rocker panels, and underbody. Once moisture got in, the Dauphine practically dissolved from the inside out. In the United States, this earned the car a reputation as disposable. Drive it for a few winters, then watch it crumble away. When the Renault Dauphine debuted in the late 1950s, it carried a bold mission: to take on the Volkswagen Beetle, the world's best-selling small car at the time. Renault and the French government, which controlled the company after World War II, saw the Beetle's massive success and wanted their own people's car that could dominate both European streets and foreign markets. On paper, the Dauphine had all the right ingredients. It was compact, affordable, and fuel-efficient, just like the Beetle. Its rear engine design even mimicked Volkswagen's formula, giving it similar handling characteristics. But Renault added a touch of flair the Beetle lacked: sleeker Italian-inspired styling, a more comfortable interior, and the promise of modern French engineering. For a time, the plan worked. Millions were sold across Europe, and even in the United States, where it briefly outsold the Beetle in 1959. But while Volkswagen built a reputation for durability, the Dauphine quickly earned the opposite image: fragile, rust-prone, and underpowered.